everyone, welcome back. It's Gina from Orchid and Opal.com. Today I have 2 different subscriptions from the Beads of the Month Club, plus their findings companion pack to share with you. So I have the double version of the 2-hole Beads of the Month Club. You can see the theme of that one is called Winter Roses. You get all sorts of different 2-hole check glass beads. And then in the center, I have a single version of the Hot and Trendy Club, which is called Santa Fe this month. The theme changes every single month for these clubs, and you can get them in both the double and single versions. I typically get the single version of the 2-hole and Hot and Trendy Club every month, but I also am on their rotating club. So when my rotating club intersects with one of these 2 clubs below, I end up with the double version of one and the single version of the other. I know it's a lot to take in, but you can definitely check out their website for all of the details of all the different subscriptions they have to offer. I'll leave that right below the video. And I have a coupon code as well. It's Opal10. That will save you 10% off the first month of your first subscription club if you want to try them out. And then they have the optional findings companion pack that you can add on to any bead subscription, which provides you with high quality findings in a coordinating tone of metal to itself, not necessarily that month's beads, but it's a great way to build up your stash of high quality findings in different metallic colors because those change every month also. Let's go ahead and start out with opening the Hot and Trendy Beads of the Month Club. This one, you get a lot of high quality check glass beads. Great for those who are adventurous with their beadwork, want all different sorts of types of shapes and colors, maybe newer shapes, newer finishes, and it's definitely a surprise each and every month. You just don't know what you're going to get, and it's a great way to step outside of your comfort zone. So on the front here, of course, we have the list of everything that is included, and then we'll do a flip over. Oh my goodness. So we see some beautiful turquoise, some silver, some black right off the bat here. I'm going to take these out and then we will look at everything close up one at a time. All right, so our first container, and I love these containers, by the way, these flip tops, I use them all the time, so I reuse these containers. But anyway, these are the Jet Matte Delos Parpuka beads. It's a newer shape by the Puka line of beads. They are a 3-hole shape, so you can see why I said you might want to be a little bit more adventurous in your beading. And here is that handful of these 3-hole beads. You see this very matte-like finish that they have as opposed to a shiny and glossy finish. They have a crown-like shape with the 3 holes running through the bead like that, as you can see. Next up is a container with the opaque green turquoise Arcos Parpukas. These are another bead from the Puka line. These happen to fit really well with the Delos that we just saw, and they are also a 3-hole bead. They can curve right around the top of that crown-like shape if you wanted to use those together. And I do have a tutorial where these 2 shapes are used together. I will try to link that in the corner. And this is such a pleasing opaque sort of minty like turquoise color. Brings out some fresh and vibrancy to this particular theme. These are glossy, as you can see. And then we have some 1-hole beads. These are the lava etched jet turquoise drucks. So the druck beads are the check glass pressed round beads. You can see they have the just slightest hint of like a turquoise wash over the top. They definitely look like lava beads. They really imitate those natural lava beads a lot of us have probably seen, with that texture and the kind of pitted appearance that these have. But they also just give us that hint of turquoise, which is a little bit different. Our next container is holding some of these turquoise green travertine table cut flower beads. Aren't these gorgeous? There's 5 of these beads in here. We have that table cut appearance, really showing off that greenish turquoise color, and that's set off by that travertine stone-like finish that we have washed around the outside of the bead and also settling in the inside, separating each of these petal shapes. And then the hole is actually running through the center of the bead. There you can see that running right through there. Our fifth container is holding the Jet Laser Cracked Teardrop beads. And these kind of bring our whole palette together with that black and then a lot of the bluish aqua tone. We also get a hint of gold and some more greenish colors. You can see the crackled appearance that they have with the black in the background, then that shiny electroplated like finish. And these flat teardrops have a hole that runs right through the top there, through the side of the bead. Next up for us, another very unique shape. These are the pellet beads, and the color is called Etched Full Argentic, but basically kind of an antique silver, it looks like. These are really interesting. So the shape of them is like a barrel cylindrical shape with a compressed center. They have one hole that runs through the center of the bead. And with this particular color combination and finish, some parts of the beads are very shiny and glossy, and some parts have that very matte, frosty, and etched appearance. So it just depends on where you are looking at the beads. That's really cool and different, so appropriate for hot and trendy. Next up in container number 7, we have the bronze aluminum vertical fixer beads. These are another shape that I need to work with. I've gotten a few of these in the hot and trendy clubs and I have not played around with them yet. These are in a classic silver color. You can see these are so interesting. They are a 4-hole bead. There's vertical fixers and there's horizontal fixer beads, and it just depends on which one you get, where the hole placement is, but both of them are a 4-hole bead. And you can see they've got this groove on the inside of these vertical fixers, and from what I understand, you can use those to hold a cabochon in place, for example, if you wanted to bead weave those into a bezel, just to get you started thinking as to how you would use something like that. And then our 8th and final container for hot and trendy are the gecko beads. These are the jet Labrador. So we have both the jet black and the shiny silver Labrador finish coming together to bring us these little drop shapes that are different on each side. These are gorgeous. So it looks like one side is black and one side is silver. Also one of those beads that's bringing together our palette, lots of black and silver this month in hot and trendy that contrasts with that greenish turquoise. Lots going on in this handful. You can see how the hole runs right through the top of these little drop shapes. And they remind me of dagger beads, just really, really tiny and a little bit shorter. I think it's an awesome month once again for hot and trendy, a beautiful palette that has come together and all different sorts of shapes and finishes, ones that I would not expect to see, some that we have seen before shape-wise, but a totally unique color palette. And you could get the same color palette as I showed here, or you could get a different one. The themes change depending on their stock levels and what people have gotten already in the past. So what I've gotten here may be different than what you got if you are also signed up to Hot and Trendy, but it could be the same. But this is the type of thing you can expect, and the way they coordinate their color palettes. Every month, of course, would be something totally different. So awesome job there. And then now that we've seen that club, we're going to get into the double version, which means twice as many beads of the 2-hole beads of the month club in the theme Winter Roses. So let me move these out of the way and then we will get into this club. All right, so Winter Roses, I'm seeing some deep reds and greens, and of course we have a larger size bag here. You could also sign up for a single club, which would also get you the same 8 containers. You would just get half the quantity of beads. And also I want to mention too that you get a link that changes every month on your paper invoice that comes in your subscription package. So don't forget to check that. That will take you to 3 free downloadable patterns that you can get from that specific link. It's another perk of the subscription. Also comes quite often with patterns for some multi-hole shapes and things that you'll see, especially in the 2-hole beads of the month club. All right, so let's flip this over. And indeed, we see some reds and greens and also some of these snowy whites included in this theme. So once again, I'm going to take these out and we'll go through everything close up one at a time. All right, so first on our list are the matte metallic green turquoise Amos Parpuka beads. These are another one in the Puka line, and you can see that they are indeed a 2-hole bead with the teardrop shape. Those 2 holes run parallel through the bead. And let's take these out of the container. You really get a lot in these double clubs. A lot to work with there. You can see that these have that kind of suede-like appearance as well. So in certain parts of the bead, you can see a bluish tint that comes through, which is really interesting. And then parts have that really deep forest green. But overall, they have that sort of brushed metallic appearance, and they're all in such great shape. Another very unique shape here with the matte metallic green turquoise Helios Parpukas. And you can see a very full handful of these as well in that same sort of color and finish effect with that mainly green but slightly blue hint that shows up under the light. These are sort of a tulip-like shape. The 2 holes run through the bead this way through each of those points. All right, our third container, very excited to see these. I've just started seeing these mini gem duos. They are so adorable. These are the Pearl Shine White Minis, a beautiful winter white. There are so many in my hand here. We have this shape that is actually the same as their larger counterpart, the regular gem duo, but these are, of course, mini, like the name suggests, and they are so tiny and adorable. I cannot wait to use these. And I am planning to come back with a tutorial, by the way, later this month from the Winter Roses theme. So we'll see what I come up with from these contents. And then next up is a container of the Pearl Shine White Baroque cabochon beads. These are very cabochon-like with a flat bottom and a more domed or rounded top. And I've always wanted to try to incorporate these in the center of like a beaded flower. I think they would make a great center for that in some sort of a pendant or floral type of design. But you can see they have that bit of texture there instead of just being completely smooth and glossy. The 2 holes run parallel through the base of these cabs, and the base, as you can see, is flat and also in that beautiful wintry white, just like those mini gem duos. Up next, we have a full container here of the Chalk White Matte Super Duos. These are an even more stark white than the Pearl Shine varieties that we just saw. Beautiful, pure snow white and very versatile shape. And I don't actually think I have basic white super duos like this, so that will come in handy for sure. This is only a part of what came in that container, which is holding 25 grams. And it's just amazing, even in the single version of the club with these different shapes, you can really do a lot with them. And then when you get the double club, man, you can incorporate these into so many finished pieces. All right, now we're going to bring in our reds for these last 3 containers, and we are going to start out with our red laser web AB honeycomb beads. Really interesting. These are actually more of a really bright coral or just slightly orangey red, and you can see that etching that they have over the top with that geometric pattern in that electroplated metallic shine. They have the 6-hole shape, as they're called, the honeycomb beads, with 2 holes that run parallel through the bead. And then we have the coral red Lumi half moons, and these definitely are a similar coral red as we saw in the honeycombs. And we can see that definite half moon type shape with the 2 holes that actually run through the face of the bead. And then on top of that opaque corally red, you get the bit of metallic luminescent golden shine. Our 8th and final container for this 2-hole club is containing the red Lumi table cut X or cross silkies. Oh my goodness, I love these. So they've got this really interesting table cut flat base, and then on the top you can see they have that X sort of a pattern or that hatched or cross shape with the sides that have that luminous extra wash, really setting off that table cutting and toning down the edges a little bit, that center being a lot of a brighter fire engine red. And then these silky beads, they are similar to a check tile bead, but the holes are actually on the diagonal. So you can see they're running through the points of these beads on either side, making these more of a diamond-like shape as opposed to a square. Another absolutely stunning palette and theme. I think they did a great job with both Santa Fe and Winter Roses. Definitely can combine these with not only the beads that came in this particular month's theme and club, but also so many of their beautiful past clubs that I still have beads from to incorporate with these shapes and colors. And I love their clubs also in terms of how specific they are. It's great if you really know what you like to work with, you know what you want. For example, if you never want to work with multi-hole shapes, you wouldn't sign up for this one. But if you are somebody who loves all the different types of 2-hole check glass shapes, you love bead weaving especially, you know this club is for you. And it's very reliable in terms of the quality. And of course, the Beads of the Month Club has fantastic customer service, so they always have you covered. I've heard that from so many of you, not only my own experience. But before I leave you, I still have the Findings Companion Pack to share, and this one is going to contain some gold-plated findings, and we will take a closer look at this right now. All right, so as you can see from our list, we are going to have some components that actually contain Swarovski crystals inside, which is great. That's going to be beautiful, I'm sure. We'll do a brief flip over. Here we go. We see our gold and some heart-shaped findings this time around. We start out with one heart link, this one containing one of those Swarovski crystals called Silk. So it's kind of a champagne, very light gold and silver sort of combination that I'm seeing as I'm moving this crystal around. Beautiful faceting. The gold is in great shape, or the metal of this component. There's a look at the back, which is very smooth, and you get that link on either side to work with. Next up, also in that silk combination, we have two of the heart charms, also with the Swarovski crystal. And these just feel so substantial and very good quality. They don't feel cheap or anything, which is what you'd expect from their Findings Companion Packs, and also something that would be containing a Swarovski crystal. They have that loop at the top, and then of course there is a look at the back, a little bit of texture going on there. They have also included one Jubilee clasp set. This is a toggle clasp, very whimsical heart-like design, with this little curly bar and the curly heart that we can see that forms the loop of our toggle. They have also included some post earring findings. These are called Star Jasmine, and they are in a coordinating shade of gold. These are kind of a more antique gold, these findings, which I like. They're not a bright yellow color that seems like they're screaming at you in a way. There's a look at the post itself, and they've also included the stoppers for those earrings. They have also included 4 head pins. These are a 21 gauge, and they are quite long, so you can feed quite a bit onto those. And then lastly, we have some of these oval jump rings. These are a 20 gauge 4x3mm size, and these oval shapes are even more secure than the round shapes due to the fact that they sit in a way that opening is off center, which I really like, and I would love to have some more oval jump rings. I might even just make some oval jump rings out of wire, we'll see. So that is everything for the Findings Companion Pack this month. It seems like a few less items than we might normally get, but keep in mind these have Swarovski crystals, which add a lot of value, and they're all really good quality findings, which add a lot of rich detail to your pieces and should be able to stand the test of time. So that is everything for the 2 Beads of the Month clubs that I received for November 2021. I think they did a fabulous job as usual. I always know what to expect in terms of the quality and the types of things that they're sending, so That isn't a surprise, but it's always a surprise to see what the color palettes are and what exact beads they're going to send. And it's always a pleasure to see these high quality beads come together in very thoughtfully curated palettes. So I hope you enjoyed checking out these clubs as well. Hopefully this video is helpful for you if you have maybe looked into certain clubs like this one and wanted to see what was inside. Don't forget you can use the coupon code OPAL10 to save 10% off the first month of your first subscription if you'd like to try them out. And I'll also leave that link to their website right down below the video so you can find out all the details about each one. Huge thank you to you all for being with me today. I hope to see you again real soon, so definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed checking out these clubs, what you received, or anything else you'd like to say. And of course, feel free to share and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That's all I have for now. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.